Star vs. the Forces of Evil belongs to Darren Nefsey, Disney Channel, and all other people associated with its creation. Please support Star vs. the Forces of Evil and go buy the Magical Book of Spells. Hello everybody, Raspberry Barrel here, and now we are going to do the second part of Crescenta the Eager's chapter in the Magical Book of Spells. So, we left off. Crescenta and the future leaders of Muni Club had just made all these rules for Muni because the streets were so dirty and stuff. Okay, Heir of the Bunnies, Year 4. Been having some fantastic talks with Princess Kelpbottom, or as I call her, Emily. She just really understands what it's like to be an exceptional and the loneliness that sometimes comes with it. She is a true friend, someone ambitious and mature upon whom I can depend, unlike my horrible sister, Deer, whom I haven't seen much of lately. Deer and Chad ran off into the Forest of Certain Death together to be a pack of two around to love and support me as I become queen, but as Emily and I always say, you can only rely on yourself. No matter what you do, the dwarves will always try to sabotage the giants. I finally went through puberty. I was starting to get worried it wouldn't happen for me, but of course it did. It is a unique butterfly family trait. Prolonged exposure to magic eventually hits a peak where it can't be contained any longer. It surges through your body, causing you to make a cocoon, and when you emerge, you get a quick peek of your ultimate magic form, your butterfly. You will not see that butterfly again until you've mastered the art of dipping down, which brings that surge of magic to the surface again. It is a beautiful, very natural thing, and it doesn't happen to all princesses. My sister Deer, for example, has never been through puberty, and probably never will. Most princesses go completely boy crazy when it hits. I at the time, and she said my ultimate magic looked magnificent. Heir of the Bunnies, Year 5. Never give up on your dreams. My dream is to be queen, and one day that dream will be a reality. Emily and I spend a lot of time discussing the kind of queen I will become. I will be a strong but fair, in control at all times, been studying medicine and hopes to be a nurse queen under the sea. I think she'll be an excellent nurse queen, but I wish she didn't need to do it so far away. On the next page is the very first spell I ever created. At age 12, I still use it just about every day. You can bring any object to you or away from you. I created it so I could get more done. You save an average of 20 seconds just by levitating your daily to-do list to you. That might not seem like much. That's nearly 2.5 minutes a week, 10 minutes a month, and 120 minutes a year. Think about how much you can accomplish in 120 minutes. I use Levitato to feed myself, make my bed, travel downstairs, Esther. Big sis. Okay, and here is our first secret message of the chapter. Take your minute. Okay, it says, you have no idea of the marvelous things I will accomplish. You may wonder what all that unusual writing is. Well, it's the secret ancient language of the Muni Queens, Lomunian. I'm fluent in English, Merbubble, Demon Tongue, and Lomuan. When I was 5, I taught myself using flashcards while Durhenia was, per usual, sleeping. Next secret code. I am better than my older sister Deer at everything. And last secret code for this page. I will be the greatest queen this world has ever known. My first spell, Levitato. How to Levitato. 1. Simply point your wand at an object you wish to move and clearly say Levitato. 2. You will find you now have the object trapped in a force field connected to your wand. 3. From here, use your wand like a baton. Where you point, that's where the object goes. The quicker you point, the faster it goes. Point your wand toward yourself to have it come to you. The theory behind this spell is fascinating. This is all about the magnetic crystals that exist inside every object. No matter what form your wand takes, it will always have a crystal. Crystals, with unlike poles, naturally want to be together. So even without a blast, inanimate objects will be attracted to objects away from you. It's like flipping the magnet over. Now you have two like poles facing each other and they will repel. Heir of the Bunnies, Year 6. The monsters are at it again. They don't think they are treated fairly, but that's ridiculous. If they weren't so lazy and bloodthirsty, of course they could have everything we have. What they want is a bunch of handouts. Don't they understand you have to work hard to get ahead? They say they're at a disadvantage because they don't have magic. Well, cry me a river. I had to work very hard to be any good at magic. No one handed anything to me. To date, I have reached 4,700 extremely beneficial spells. The Heir of the Bunnies, Year 7. Finally, I have the crown. I'm queen. My mother threw me the most beautiful coronation ceremony. Parties are our only specialty after all. I am so happy. I have been jumping up and down all day. Emily told me I looked very lovely in my coronation dress. I had sent a raven scout to deliver an invitation to Deer, and in response, all I got was a pile of mud tightly packed into a ball. Typical. But I let negative thoughts slide off me like a bog water off a log. As queen, I have been getting right to work. Of course I have. I'm so excited to make my mark. As Emily always says, the first spider catches the fly, and I'm catching a lot of flies. From the bottom of my heart, I love my mother, but I always found her style of ruling to be a bit lax. She doesn't believe in strict rules, or really any rules, but I love rules. How will the sheep cows know how to behave unless you tell them? Without rules, all you have is chaos, anarchy, and uncertainty. What you need is someone in charge who really cares about her people, someone with strong ethics and a good sense of what is right and wrong, someone like me. Heir of the Bunnies, Year 8. Being queen has been excellent. My days are full of meetings. I love meetings. When I tell someone to do something, they have to listen to me. This kind of leadership has made my ruling very efficient. My main project has been working on the monster problem. You see, they have been led as of late by a scaly gecko-like monster named Seth. He's been convincing them that the fact they are living in filth is somehow our fault instead of their own doing. The monster situation is already bad, but we have been living in relative peace for my whole life. I'm worried that this new bad leadership will bring us back into a time of warring like when my mother was a young queen. Luckily, Emily and I have a plan. Emily has decided not to be queen of the waterfolk. The waterfolk are really a more minor kingdom, just like the ponyheads, spiderbites, and lucitors. The butterflies rule them all, and Emily thought she could do more good for the kingdom as a whole, staying by my side and helping me rule. She's just exceptionally thoughtful like that. Heir of the Bunnies, Year 9. What a productive year. I'm jumping up and down again. Emily's and my genius plan for the monsters has almost worked. You know how I explained about minor kingdoms? Well, you see, the monsters are so uncivilized, they've never had one. Oh, sure, they've tried. Many years ago, they had a human-eating giant of a monster they wanted to make their king. Of course, we never let that happen, but it got me thinking, what if they one who would keep the monsters in check? Someone butterfly-controlled. Not having clear, responsible leadership opens up a path for losers like Seth. But if they had a queen or king, it might squash the current civil unrest. Now, of course, this kind of thing can be tricky. You can't just put someone in charge of the monsters. Or the monsters will feel that they have been cheated. Months until we found the right candidate. Her name is Pema Avarius, and her husband Pseudo Avarius. They will do whatever we say and are happy to do so, as long as we supply them with the castle, gold, and power. Perfect! The monsters have put up for election. No surprise, that disgusting Seth. And that's where we're going to end this chapter. The most interesting things, well, it adds more about Crescenta and Deer's relationship. Crescenta's feelings towards her mother and how her mother wasn't a great queen in her opinion. It talked about her first spell, Levitato, which is the spell that Ludo used. It talks about how Crescenta is the one that put Ludo's family in power. So far in the chapter, they haven't won the election, but, because in the show we see that Ludo's family are like a king and queen of monsters, we have to assume they won. It talks about Emily and how she decided to stay at Crescenta's side and just help out there. And Crescenta's really happy that she has a friend now. And okay, that's where we're going to end. and see where we are in the next video. Thanks, everybody. Star vs. the Forces of Evil belongs to Darren Nefsey, Disney Channel, and all the other people associated with its creation. Please go support Star vs. the Forces of Evil and go buy the Magical Book of Spells. Thanks. Bye.